Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cinematic Schematic, the official podcast of the Cinematropolis.com, your home to thoughtful conversations on film, and this year's podcast media partner for the dCFF 2024 Film Festival. I'm your host, Caleb Masters, and today I'm so excited to speak with the vocal coach of Cricket. Today, I think we're going to be talking a little bit more about the role that vocal coaching in music plays in the film Cricket, and then we'll also talk a little bit about how maybe you can keep up with the film following the festival. But first, if you have been enjoying these exclusive dCFF conversations, please make sure to subscribe via your preferred podcast app. You'll have them delivered right to your listening ear each and every day. First, let's introduce the film Cricket. So Cricket is described as Cricket Sullivan, played by Skye Dakota Turner, is an introverted 14-year-old struggling to come to terms with a broken family. Drawn to churches as an easy mark to steal candles for her sick mother, she is caught by a grieving choir director and set a penance of polishing the church's pews. The most unlikely friendship emerges as Cricket finds her true gift to the world and unlocks a channel through which both student and choir director can face their own fears and emotions. This is a lyrical film about love, loss, and the resilience of the human spirit. I'm so thrilled to be welcoming the vocal coach, also the vocalist of the film's theme song, Deonna Marie, to the podcast today. Deonna, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, hey, how's your dCFF been so far? I heard rumor this is your first one?
This is my first one. It's amazing. I'm talking about I'm exploding with just excitement, just for all the talent, all of the passion, all of the beautiful people that I've met. I'm just ecstatic just to be here. And this will not be my last one.
Oh, I'd love to hear that.
For sure.
We know how to party here. We party hard. We also watch a lot of movies.
Yes, we party hard. We had a good time.
So tell me a little bit more about your role in Cricket. Of course, it sounds like music is pretty integral to the film, right? Can you tell me about like your involvement and when you got approached to do the project with Richard and Amy James?
Yes. Well, my first involvement was actually with Finding Cricket's choir, where I was the music on the music panel for actually finding the choir. So I helped with that process. And in that process, they realized that, I'm a vocal coach as well. And Cricket is coming from Broadway and she needed to sing some classical music. And since I'm a classically trained soprano, they asked me to come on board and to help her to transition from the Broadway stage to the opera stage, which is a feat. Normally that usually, you give someone a couple of years to do that. We had a couple of weeks.
Oh gosh, wow.
Yes. So I had to prepare for an intensive. And what I did with that was I studied her voice for about 80 hours.
Wow.
I had to study her voice from the first time she spoke, and how her voice developed between now and then, from not just singing, but speaking wise as well. So I can understand how to best navigate her instrument to pull off such a feat. And she's amazing. She did it.
Wow.
But we had to do it together.
Well, tell me a little bit more about that process, though. I mean, again, studying someone's voice for 80 hours and really having to hyper hone in on something and then figure out, hey, how can we get you to this other place we want to go? Can you tell me a little bit more about your collaboration with Skye?
Yes. Well, first of all, we had a couple of conversations over the phone as well, and but for the most part, it's you have to study someone's instrument in its entirety, especially with such a short amount of time. So there's some little exercises that I would have her to do, and not little. They're big exercises, okay? And in my studio, I teach it's a feeling and not a sound. So it's important for one to actually feel their voice come out of their body and feel the passion from their words to my ears, to my soul. And so I had to teach her to do that. So the collaborative process was quite unique for her, I think, because, on Broadway, of course, we're all big on the sound. She came playing Little Tina Turner. I mean, she has a powerhouse voice, let's just be honest, But with the classical music, it's important that you feel it. Mm-hmm. And so I had to suspend her from needing the need to sound good and to feel good and actually feel the music that's coming from her. And what are you singing this for? What is this about? What did the composer want? It's in Latin. So, what is the translation saying to you? And now let's float, not worry about the sound of it, and allow it to come out. And it was just magical what happened once she got that concept.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really beautiful because vocals, I feel like I'm not a singer myself, and I feel like that's such a big challenge is because it's not just the technical. I love that you're into the theory, you're into the why, and what is this supposed to mean, especially for the film. How is the audience supposed to connect with this while also, hey, Sky, you got to put your own spin on it too, right?
Yes, by all means. Well, the audience, it's our job as vocalists anyway to take the audience on a journey of a feeling or to give you permission to feel. A lot of us are so busy running in life, or we're running from thing to thing or from idea to idea, that we really don't give ourselves sometimes the permission to feel sad, the permission to be free, to take that moment to do that. And so in this piece in particular, that's what I put in her mind. I want everybody to stop in their tracks. I want them to stop the mind movie that's going on in their head and really pay attention to what the sound of your voice, the feelings that the sound of your voice is evoking for them. And I really, really think she nailed it.
Oh, wow. I have not seen the film, full disclosure, but I am very excited. I've heard nothing but incredible things from some of my peers here in the industry who've gotten a little sneak peek of it. Can you tell me a little more about your experience working both with Richard and Amy James on this project?
Well, with Richard James, what was interesting with him is I was one of the only people that got to work directly with him on set. And that was an experience that I had not experienced before, and it was just beautiful. He really gave me the freedom to exercise, my gifts as well, and to help to mold the sound, of Cricket's voice. And not only Cricket, Carlos Leo, who was a vocal coach in the film as well. And he had not witnessed a vocal coach before, so I gave him a couple of lessons. He sat in with Cricket and I, or Sky and I, on our lessons. So he got to see firsthand what the vocal coach is like. And so he's kind of implementing me in the film. So it was really, really cool to be a part of that as well.
I love that too. That really close collaboration
Yes.
again, because you're taking your ideas and trying to all right, here's what you're looking for. Here's what I know we have. How can we actually do something even better than what each one of us could do on our own together?
Yes, exactly. And that's what it's all about. It's all about beautiful collaboration. It's about surrounding yourself with professionals who know the field, who know whatever it is that you need to, just in case you don't know everything, because who does, and have the heart to have the best collaboration for everyone involved.
What separates what you did on Cricket in terms of your experience? What would you say is sort of sets it apart from the previous films?
Honestly, the beautiful collaboration with everyone involved. It's different when it seems like we all have the same heartbeat. It's hundreds of people involved, but yet when we're all on the same wavelength and the same page, the magic that can come from that, the transformation that can come from that is I think that's the biggest.
Man, that's so excited. Yeah. When you find the right collaborators, right?
It's beautiful. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. You know what I mean? Every time you don't always get things that fit. But I think Cricket, one of the things, they got a lot of pieces that really just fit together. It was supposed to happen at the time that it happened, the way it happened. And we allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you can't go wrong.
That's movie magic right there.
Period. That's life magic.
Yes.
Okay?
I love it. That's great. Great life
That's
advice.
Life
yes.
magic. All right.
So I want to circle back here. You also recorded the vocals for the theme. What was your? That's a very. I imagine probably a very different process than coaching an individual. Tell me a little bit about how you approach trying to identify the theme and the sound of Cricket.
Well, ironically, when I was asked to do this piece, my friend had passed a week before.
Oh.
And I had never experienced grief like that before in my life. It's like, it was a give up. So I used the song Take My Heart With You, written by Justin Burnett, to talk to my friend.
Wow.
It's take my heart with you and fly away from here. Back to the green, green grass with a plane flying high above, And again, when you feel something for real and you have a real story that you're telling behind it, whether people know it or not, they feel that. And that's what's been happening. People actually feel it, but that's what I was going through at the time. So I tell you, nothing happens by chance. And it happened literally, as ironic as that might sound, at the right time.
Yeah, it's crazy because had the opportunity come along 6 months later, that would have sounded different, right? It would have been a different vibe or energy. And yet it's the sound that the sound from that moment that really shapes the tone and the emotionality of Cricket.
Yes. But even, a real authentic emotion, that was evoked in me losing my friend. And that was needed. And I'm not going to say anything about the film. I won't give it away, but it was needed, for this film at the time. And so it was literally perfect. And yes, 6 months prior, I was in a different place. I could have done it, but it would have been more me piecing things together instead of allowing life to happen. And it was like a fresh wound. And I got to emote from that and talk to my friend. And it was healing for me, very healing for me. So I wouldn't change anything.
Well, very sorry for your loss, but also it's beautiful to hear that as an artist, you were able to create something special out of such a difficult time, almost as a way to kind of commemorate your friend.
Yes.
So in terms of, making a film like this in Oklahoma, that's a very unique opportunity. What excites you so much about having opportunities like Cricket pop up right here in Oklahoma?
It really makes me excited for even the future in film in Oklahoma. This was just like a catalyst, I think, or one of them. So many things are happening, but as a catalyst to the other wonderful things that's going to happen. It's like a springboard, it's a building block. And to be a part of, I believe, is one of the main building blocks, is the foundation. You got to have a strong foundation.
Absolutely.
In anything, that another life, this might be a life coaching session, but no, not with you, but with the people.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm learning all sorts of things today, and all things I need, by the way.
So when you have a strong foundation, you can build on that. And I believe Cricket and the Jameses, they have built a strong foundation for not only Cricket, the film, but the community, for the actors, for those who are behind the scenes, to collaborate and make some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful storytelling film,
I hear you. And again, if you would have told me, like even like 6 or 7 years ago, we're going to be doing like these like really deeply music oriented films in Oklahoma, I'd be like, no way, no way. But here it's happening. You did it. You did the thing, and it's happening. It's playing at dCenter, and it's going to be out there. So it's very exciting,
super exciting
for what it could mean for the future.
Yes, it is. And I just hope that people, taken away from this film, if you do get to see it, that you take away permission to be free emotionally. You take away that music can transform you in ways that you wouldn't even imagine. So I hope people, after watching this film, is encouraged to find their voice, in whatever voice that is. It doesn't have to be singing. It could be speaking. It could be doing a podcast. It could be filming a movie. I mean, it could be, but find your voice, because that is when you're free.
A question I've been asking everyone who's got a film here at dCenter is, the people have seen the movie, the credits roll, the lights come up, people are walking out of the theater. What is the thing you want them thinking about or talking about on their way out?
First of all, I want them to sit for a second. It's some of it is heavy, and sit and let the dust settle. I really would love it if people didn't get up right away. Just kind of let the music fade for and I think take away a piece of themselves that maybe they hadn't discovered yet. Because sometimes we're so busy in the shuffle of life and we're running from thing to thing. Sometimes we lose ourselves, and we don't know until we sit still. So I hope that when they walk away, they have taken a moment to sit still and reflect on the things that actually made them a better person. Because oftentimes we say, oh, woe is me, when we think bad things happen. But I think for myself, I was reborn in the fire. And a lot of people are. And sometimes it's our greatest pains that make us who we are. And so I hope people walk away and feel that.
I love that. I think it's such an encouraging, empowering message, no matter what happens in life, that you have opportunities ahead and you can't overcome it.
Yes.
Yes. Another question we've been asking, this will be the last one for the day. It's been such a fun time talking with you, but I've been asking everyone, what is your favorite film going experience? And this could be an actual movie, or it could just be, what is a happy memory you have watching a film with other people you're close with?
Am I wrong if I'm biased if I say Cricket?
No, you're allowed to say cricket.
Well, I mean it because cricket.
Let's go.
That's it. Cricket was just sitting there and being a small part of it, especially from where I came from. I just got done with my one-woman show, the Deonna Marie Experience, from the crack house to the opera house, where I tell it's a one-woman show about my life and how I got from one end to the other. So to be sitting in there and to be a part of such an epic film, knowing where my background used to be, it's everything for me.
Oh man, I
If
love to hear
makes
that.
sense.
No, it does. It does because you're coming from a one-man show into a highly collaborative environment. It kind of goes
Yes.
back to what we were talking about at the beginning, which is like once you really start clicking with people,
Yeah.
you're able to just create things that are so much better than you on your own could imagine.
Exactly. Exactly.
Deonna Marie, thank you so much for joining us on Cinematic Schematic today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Where can people follow you and all the things you're doing after the festival?
You can find me at official Deonna Marie on all social media platforms and DeonnaMarie.com for all the updates. Holla at me.
Holla at her.
That's
what I'm saying.
That's it.
Thanks so much for joining us, listeners. We'll catch you again next time.